That's the whole tragic point, my friends. What would I do if I could suddenly feel and to know once again that what I feel is real? I could cry, I could smile, I might lay back for a while. Tell me what would I do if I could feel?
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Shannon City Wake Up Call. I'm your host, Howard Elamine, coming to you out of the Port City of Wilmington, North Carolina. 365 days a year. Shannon City Wake Up Call. Good morning, people. Early morning hours. May 31st and June the 1st, 1921. The early morning hours right now, about 4 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6. Tulsa was burning, y'all. They went through Tulsa and they burnt everything up, man. Burnt it down. About 9 o'clock, the ashes were smothering. Told Wall Street. Like Wall Street gone. Don't y'all forget y'all history today. I read that on post for 2 days, May 31st and June the 1st. Tulsa, Oklahoma race riots, 1921. They burnt it down, y'all. They burnt it down. Y'all gotta remember history. Gotta remember history so it'll never happen again. What's up, y'all? This morning, me host Noo Covers. We coming to you. I gotta talk to y'all this morning about history, especially. Had some posts last night that was very disappointing, hard-heartening, but I understand where we at. We got to grow up. That's where we at as a people now. I'm a supporter of the Roots Project. I support the History Channel. I love myself some History Channel because the History Channel is not accurate all 100%, but they do a fair assessment of history for me. Being a history buff, if I do any TV, it's going to be on the History Channel most of the time. So I watch history very carefully, and then I go research it for myself to make sure that what is being said is accurate. So now I notice, I didn't realize what the backlash. I said, where's the backlash coming from Roots? I mean, then I went to research and realized that Snoop Dog, whatever the nigga. I'm sorry, bad word. I know better than that. Put him back in his cage right now. But sometimes you let folks out and they're your leaders, man. He had, I understand where Snoop coming from, keeping it real. Yeah, right. But I'm a little kid, 1970s. My father was very religiously. He wasn't into social conscience. He wasn't into none of these people on my wall in my house. None of them. None. I mean, the closest black person I saw on my wall was my daddy. He used to like Sidney Poitier movies. He loved those movies. But these folks is on my wall, none of them. I don't remember growing up like that. He didn't teach us Malcolm. He didn't teach us Garvey. He didn't teach me, Charles Drew, Lewis Latimer. He didn't give it to me, man. So I'm caught in a cage. I got this mind, but I'm caught in a cage. And Roots, it came out. Bam. I will never forget the first scene when he take the child up to the heavens. That's my introduction to Islam. As a 13, 14-year-old child, I'm like, wow. So to see the reenactment of that now brought to a more modern life with better quality Islamic representation, did my heart some good, because I'm watching it because I knew it had to be updated. I mean, many of you don't know the history of the story of Roots, the book. There have been, you know, us that have said, Alex put a little sugar in the Kool-Aid. You know, we know that. The historians know that. That Alex story, he traced it back. But he had to ad-lib a lot of stuff because those historical data wasn't there. Dr. Clark hadn't done all his research yet. Ivan Verf Suderman hadn't done his research yet. Doing those, they were just doing their research at that time. Malcolm, having read those, communicating with Alex, said he gave him a, oh man, let me go check my roots. Yeah, Alex didn't just pop up and say, let me go check my roots. His conversations with Malcolm, the autobiography of Malcolm X, him going back and forth with that story gave him the inkling to go, oh, let me go look. It might be a storyline him. And him being a writer, took the storyline and went with it. May have had some traditions passed down in his family. But the rest of the filling in the gap, that was a lot of filling in. A lot of it was filling in. So now to see it being brought back to life with some historical data filling in. I mean, the first night alone, I watched it and I was like, wow, let me go check that out. Wow, I didn't realize that the tribes of Mandinka were fighting the other Fula that were going against. Yeah, let me go check that out. And then let me contact, I got Facebook now. Let me contact my Kente family down in Gambia because we communicate back and forth. I got a Gambia mission going on down there. I send money over there. Let me contact my folks in Gambia and document some of this stuff that I'm seeing brought to life. History. But I'm getting, but the backlash. See, I want to be clear this morning. Protests, I described it as an express objection, be it verbal or physical, to something that someone has said or done. An express objection. To whine is to complain in a feeble way. That's the difference. Protest is an express objection, be it verbal or physical. That's protesting. When we go out and protest, we expressing ourselves. But when we whine, see, when I asked the other day how Trump got into position, because a lot of folks tired of hearing us whine. We're just whining. We find anything to whine about now. Are you whining about a production that 29 people viewed, and here is Snoop Dogg whining? Well, take your millions of dollars and go make a movie. What? The last movie I seen you in was Getting High, man. The last positive thing I've seen you do is Get High. What do you do? You throw a football with your son? Yes. But I got millions of young children out here that go to school every day. Their parents might not know. They may have had a father that raised them like they raised me. He wasn't conscious. He wasn't into it. So anytime, it's like the Christians. You don't see the Christians. Muslims too. We ain't fighting when we get a representation that's clear. Now, I'm going to do the research, and many of us going to do the research, and we see anything that's out of line, we're corrected. But for the children that's getting an introduction, like I got the introduction in their 70s, for that child who might not know the history, they're just like in the Passion of Christ, when they saw him nailed to the cross, that child can see him being beat into submission. To say never again. And sometimes, see, we get so enlightened now. Whew. We like the peacock. We so in tune now. We so with it. We above everybody else and not understanding the mass of our people still blind, deaf, and dumb, sis, bruh. Please. Master, look at your Facebook line. Look at your Facebook feed. Look at what's going down it. Listen to the conversation. Blind, deaf, and dumb. The masses of our people. So here we are up here. Oh, I'm not watching Roots. I'm beyond that. Oh, that's fine for you. Be beyond it, be gone. I'm tuned in. I'm plugged in, man. I'm enjoying my nights because I'm reviewing history. I'm correcting history. I'm making history. I'm a part of this history. I'm going to tell the story. I want the story to be told before, present, and future, man. I want all the stories to be told. The past, the present, and the future. Tell it all. Got to start somewhere, though, to tell the story. Today, June the 1st, Tulsa, Oklahoma, they burnt it to the ground. You gonna start? I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about slavery no more. Okay, so now you next year you ain't gonna want to talk about Tulsa no more. You don't want to talk about Rosewood no more. You don't want to talk about Wilmington on fire no more. See, that's what happens. It starts somewhere, and then eventually your history is gone. That's how we got enslaved the first time. They took our history out. Mali, Timbuktu. They took all our history out. And so, I've forgotten people. I've forgotten history. Babylon took our history out. They put it in the Bible, but that's our history. Egypt, they took our history out, put it in the Bible. That's our history. They took all our history out, put it in another book and colored it. Yes, that's what they did. They got rid of our tablets, took them, put them in another book and colored the color and made it their history. Stole your story and made it their story. And so now it was easy to come and enslave you barbarian people. Yes, because your history was gone. You stopped tired of telling the story. You don't want to tell the story no more. A people without their history. God said it was like a tree without roots. You don't know who you are, where you come from. Oh, so you got it? Well, what about the person who don't have it? Let them enjoy. They little sugar in the Kool-Aid. Been doctored somewhere, corrected. Snoop, stop smoking so much weed, man. It's clogging your brain. Snoop, really, Snoop, it's clogging your brain. Somebody send him a copy of this. You came all the way down in Wilmington and didn't even take the time to go visit one high school. You had time on your hands. The Azalea Festival paid for you to get here. I mean, you didn't come and know where you went to. You went to hang out with white folks, man, and smoke weed. We ain't seen you. Hey, black is real. Nigga, you ain't real. Yeah. You ain't real. Not talking that. Not talking no history. Yes. We've been played like bamboozles on TV. But you were sitting there and watch Empire, though. Free Lucius. Yeah, you got that one on, don't you? You mean to tell me you gonna think for a minute Forrest Whitaker and Fishburne gonna sell us out, gonna give us a bad representation, or gonna be a part of anything that's faked and phony? Not Whitaker, not Fishburne, no. Respect your elders, man. Oh, but you got Empire on, right? You watching that. You got that tuned in. Got it on replay. Man, you smoking too much weed, man. It's clogging your brain. Smoking too much weed. And then people just automatically jump on your bandwagon because you Snoop. I don't care how much money you got. You wrong, you wrong. You'll never hear a Jew talk about we don't need to talk about the Holocaust no more. And they let you in Farrakhan house, brother? They let you in the house? Yeah. Y'all better check the guest list from now on, man. Who y'all letting up in here? Yeah. You never hear a Jew say we don't want to talk about that history no more. I want my child to know that history verbatim. So it'll never happen again. Never happen again. Man, you're smoking too much weed, bro. Brother smoking too much weed, man. Smoking too much weed. Hey, it's your brother Noo Covers, man. Peace and blessings. Y'all keep running, man. Keep running. Hey, disclaimer. That's that other guy. It ain't me. It's the other one. You know.